All right.
Kim,
Yes.
how are you?
I'm great. I'm great. How are you? That's the question.
I'm good. I'm good. This is my little escape from whatever's happening in Los Angeles. But
Yeah.
again, we don't know when this is going to air, so it might be out of context as far as timeline, but
Right.
we might be on to a next Armageddon in LA. So,
Yeah.
but it's a huge pleasure for me to see you, talk to you anytime we get to cross paths. I just
I
love our
know.
conversations.
Yeah.
So it's an opportunity for us to now share that conversation with hopefully thousands of millions of tens of like nine people, hopefully.
Okay. Yeah. Don't make me nervous. Come on now.
No, not at all. Again, I just want to introduce you to this conversation and this podcast. It's just an opportunity for, first of all, for us to get our conversation on record, and in doing so, hopefully inspire others to join dance and to pursue whether it's dance. I mean, in this particular case, we'd love it for it to be dance, whether it's dance with me or elsewhere.
Yeah.
But this podcast will kind of this conversation will circle around your experience venturing into the world of social ballroom dance, and specifically at Dance with Me, which I'll let you get into in a second. But yeah, hopefully, again, it'll shed some light on this world. And if anybody has shown interest, a lot of people show interest through their exposure of Dancing with the Stars or
Mm-hmm.
otherwise. And I just want this to also be a bridge for them to get a little bit more knowledge on the craft and speak to someone that's just like them. I mean, much better looking and more charismatic, of course, Kim, but within reason, to
Yes.
some way they could relate to your story, hopefully, and
Mm-hmm.
um, and maybe start dancing as well.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah. What's your first question?
What's your favorite color?
Believe it or not, it's not blue. It's green. I
Why
started to wear
green?
green today. I don't. I guess because it's the color of money and no, it's just a soothing color. I've always liked green, no matter what color, what shade, it's just been my favorite. Blue is my second favorite.
Does that depend on what it looks like on you, or just in general?
Just in general, I usually gravitate to green. It's like everybody
Hmm.
knows, yeah, get him something green. Like I got a Stanley Cup green for Christmas,
Okay,
just people know that. Yeah.
gotcha. Okay, well. So I wanted to know, how did you? What inspired you to get into ballroom social dance? How did you get into it?
Yeah, that's a good question. 6 years. Can't believe it. Um, I used to watch Dancing with the Stars, of course, with my mom. She loved it way back to Emmett Smith, time.
Hmm.
Yeah. And then I would watch it and I go, oh, that's really nice. I've always been a dancer, but not a dancer like in this genre.
Hmm.
So it was very interesting to see how you would get into it. And so I saw an ad on, I think, Facebook or something, and I was like, I saw Val, I saw Max. I was like, okay, I think I could try this thing. So I went for a trial, and it was at a time where I was kind of just sitting at the house doing nothing, basically, because the kids are out of the house, husband travels all the time. So I'm like,
Hmm.
okay. So I tried the first class. And I thought, okay, this is a challenging thing, especially partner dancing. When we were younger, I might have a girlfriend and we would try to little, like now they do TikTok videos. We would just
Hmm.
do routines in our living room, and mostly just hip hop dancing, or I think I did modern and jazz at some time in school in the gym classes. But this was interesting because it was partner dancing, being more technical with dancing. And I was like, okay, it's a challenge. So I like
Well,
challenges.
yeah, I was going to ask you, what was it about this challenge that you enjoyed so much, or what was it about that first lesson that got you kind of interested?
It was the fact that I didn't know what I was doing. And I was like, I can learn something here. And I think we went over a lot of different steps or a lot of different types of dance at first. So we went through, I think, rumba and cha cha and did a little bit of waltz. And I was like, oh, what is this? I've never done any waltz or ballroom type of dancing. So it was the challenge of it. I was like, I can do this. But at the time, I told you I was a couch potato sitting around. I was 60 pounds heavier than I am
Mm.
now. And I thought I have to do something to get moving. And that was and I loved it. Dance is fun. And I'm thinking I can use my memory, I can use my somewhat talent that I thought I had and learn something new.
So before your couch potato days, what was something that you did for fun? Like, again, this is now, this is something that you do for fun, but you've really dove into it and you do it very seriously in a way.
Yeah,
I hate that word seriously, but very consistently. Let's use
yeah,
that.
yeah,
You're dedicated. Was
yeah.
there anything like that before in your life?
Not really. Besides work, being a workaholic, and I went to got my master's degree, all those things. So I was always looking for something more to do. But no, just I mean, I do little talent things like play the drums, but
Okay.
I don't have a drum set now. That was way back when. But no, I wasn't doing anything actively, and that's what I needed was something to do to use active.
I love, one thing I love about dance is the fact that it mixes music with movement, right? So there's a
Hmm.
physicality to it. There's
Yeah.
obvious connection between people, right? I call it congregating over dance, which I think is important for the human spirit. But then there's also the music aspect, right? And how has I guess well, I'll kind of wrap it up and call it theater arts or the arts, not theater art, but
Hmm.
the arts. How big of a role do the arts play in your household? Because I know, and you could share a little bit about your daughters as well.
Yes. Well, my daughter that lives over, that's your neighbor, she's an actress and has been in acting since she was, I think we were talking about the little ones. You kind of know when they're little, little. And she was
Hmm.
always an actress from the time she started out. Um, and then my family has always been artistic as far as music. My brother played drums. My other brother played percussion for major artists because I'm from Detroit originally. So he
Mm.
played with a lot of the Motown crew.
Motown.
Yeah, yeah. So in our household, we danced. It wasn't ballroom or any of those things, but it was always some music going on. There was bands playing in the basement. So with me, learning this was, combining it with the music is awesome. That's my thing.
It would be different if it was like interpretive dance in silence, right? I feel like you maybe wouldn't gravitate to that as much.
Yeah, I love the count. There have been coaches that come and um, Ferdy for one, he goes, I know how to coach you. I coach you according to the music, not the
Mhm.
counts. It's like, okay, but that's it. I love it
Yeah, I just
because of
noticed
that.
that even from my experience on Dancing with the Stars, it's like different people process choreography differently, right?
Yes.
Some need the 8 count.
Hmm.
Some people need the lyric. What's the lyric? And
Yeah.
with me, a lot of times is the percussion. It's
Yeah.
less
Me
about
too.
the lyrics or the count. It's more about the pattern that you find, the little accent that you find. But yeah, it's funny because I could listen to a song a million times and I'll still not remember any of the lyrics. It's more about,
Exactly. It's the
I remember
beat.
the melody. Yeah, I remember the melody,
Yes.
but I just make up my own words.
Hmm. Yeah.
The first
That's
lesson
really
that you had, or were you, what was you scared walking in? Was it something that you were nervous about?
I was, and I'm always nervous still. If I have to dance in a competition or so, I'm always nervous, and it's funny. But I was kind of scared, but excited. I don't know if you can, because I was like, it's something new, but I'm excited to learn,
Hmm.
So I was kind of nervous, but they made me feel very welcome. I even added some of my music that I like to the little playlist.
Hmm.
You guys got to get some Afro beats. Come on. So it was fun. It was fun. They made it fun.
Did you feel like having a partner made it feel a little safer?
Yeah, because yeah, I wouldn't have known what to do if it wasn't for having the partner and just kind of leading, guiding you through each step. So yes, that did help.
What was your first dance lesson like? So you walk in, paint me the picture. You walk in.
Yeah, I walked in and I was like, okay, who's my partner? And I didn't know who it was going to be. Of course, they come in and um, basically just started to ask you what questions, what you've learned, what you would like to do. And it was just cool. One of the things that I have to make you laugh. When I grew up, we had a dance called the Bop in Detroit.
Mm,
All it basically is the East Coast swing. So
okay.
when they were teaching me the East, I was like, okay, this is the dance I would see my older brothers and sisters do. We called it something different. So that made me feel kind of, okay, I kind of know this a little bit. I've seen it. And so it was very, I guess, easy because they took you step by step and didn't make you feel like you don't know this. What's up with you? So it was good.
The bop, is that a partner dance or is it more like a
It
line
was a
dance?
partner dance. My
Oh,
older
okay.
brother and sister, they would do it so well. It was just a little bit of difference to it, but it's the same. It's the same.
And again, no formal training. Just learn the bop on
Hmm.
music and just watching.
Yes. Yeah. They were good. It was almost like sometimes you would see them do like a Lindy Hop, I think they call it.
Hmm.
I get these words all mixed up, these dance styles. It's like, okay. But yeah, I would love watching them dance.
Do you think that that helped you picking up choreography or picking up the movement now? Because again, because a lot of, and I just know from our experience working together, you're quite a visual learner as well.
Yeah,
You
for
kind of
sure.
see it, you hear it, you feel it, and then you're like, oh, okay, I could translate that in my body. Not a lot of people can do that. I mean, there's certainly other people that learn that way as well, but not everybody has that kind of relationship with their body. I think that's one of the things that we try to teach at Dance With Me is to, through dance, build a better relationship with your body.
Yeah.
I feel like you've already had that connection.
I am a visual learner. It's true. I can, like, if you were to tell me do this, I would be like, let me see you do it. Let me
Hmm.
see you do it first. And then I'll try to mimic it. But yeah, I think just because I used to watch my brothers and sisters dance, that were older than me, we would just kind of start mimicking that movement and going from there. I mean, we grew up with Soul Train. You want to watch the people on Soul Train and try to do what they're doing, but it was basically by sight. It's true. I learn visually. Yeah.
Is it crazy to see TikTok kind of put dance at the forefront now of like, I mean, it's human interaction, really without
Mhm.
words,
It's so
and it's
true.
bringing so many different people together.
Yes, it's so true. And just you put one thing on TikTok and it just blows up. It's like everybody tries to do the same step. But it's a fun thing to watch. My daughter, my older daughter, she is really good at it. She can watch those videos and repeat them. I have to watch a few times to get it.
Listen, the one that we did in Austin got
Hmm.
like 600,000 views,
I know. That's so crazy, but it was
and
fun.
we did it fast, and I think
Yeah.
that's one of the things that at least I enjoy about it is in like dance is my profession, and there's so much preparation and so much like
Yeah.
methodology involved in it. It's fun sometimes with these TikTok dances to just kind of like not take them too seriously.
I know.
That's when I found that that's when it translates the best, is when it's
Yes.
just kind of casual.
See, with you being a professional dancer, it's like, okay, can I just chill and just have fun for a minute? Yeah, that's fun.
I think in a way it is a reflection of what dance is supposed to be, and kind of a message that we try to convey as well. Is like all we're trying to capture in that, little dance is your spirit,
Yeah.
is your joy, is your energy. And it's not like a lot of times it's not what you do, it's how much fun you're having while doing it. It's just so a quote, I don't remember who said it, but they were like, the best dancer on the floor sometimes is the one that's having the most fun.
Well, true. That is true. And I think that it's one of the things in competitions or whatever, when we do them, I don't want to know who sometimes they want to say, you're competing against this. I'm like, no, I'm competing against myself. I want to do the best that I can do and have fun. And I think that the more fun you have, the better you'll be.
I wanted to ask you, so you start taking lessons, you get into it, it's something that you're enjoying.
Yeah.
What was that first competition like, and what was that first conversation like
Oh,
to even get you interested?
I know. As soon as I wrote down on the little questionnaire that I might be interested in competing. They're like, let's go for it. The nerves. Oh my gosh. I was so nervous. But it was, I think, how can you say it? It's like, it's I think, a high that you get. Not necessarily if you win the medals or trophies or whatever. It's just the fact that you did it, you know.
Hmm.
And of course, I was like a nervous wreck, but it was fun anyway. And I never thought that I was that competitive, but I guess I am.
Well, again, it's like competition is it's a little bit of a loaded word
Hmm.
because yes, there is competing,
Yeah,
but there's also this element of performing.
yeah,
And I think it's a combination of those two things that brings so much joy.
yeah.
I love competing, but
Hmm.
sometimes I don't know what I love more. I think I love
The performance.
performing more than competing. And again, of course, I want my performance to be the greatest performance of all time. You know, I say like a little, call it prayer or self-talk, but
Yes.
anytime before I go out there,
Hmm.
I talk about, going out there and dancing with gratitude. But I
Yeah,
also, to myself, I say, God, please give me the strength to be the best performer this audience has ever seen.
yeah.
And it's like something that I say, but again, I'm not trying to win a medal necessarily as much as I'm
Right.
trying to be one of the best performers they've ever seen because I want to
Thank
leave that type
you.
of impression.
There you go. That's me. You know, I was talking to someone the other day and we were at rehearsal, at practice, and I go, it was her first time competing. And I go, it's like once you've done all the practicing and the rehearsing and you go to the competition, it's like you put it all together on the floor and you see how far you've gone or what you've done to make yourself even better. And that's where, and she was so excited because it was her first time and she won. And she was like, was it the ponytail? Was it the outfit? No, it was the practice that you put into it. Now you performed it and you got the reward.
And that's the thing. I think a lot of times the reward is
Yeah,
showing up, getting out there. Like you said, it's exhilarating. I mean, I still get nervous, and people are like, "But you've done it for so long. Do you still get nervous?" Yeah, of course, I get nervous because I still care. As soon as I
yeah,
don't care, I won't get nervous, and I would
yeah,
feel like that's when I would probably not do this anymore
yeah. I
because that
got you.
nervousness is it's kind of creating stakes for why it's so exhilarating afterwards.
Hmm. Yeah.
And then as far as competition and ponytail or whatever, the work is in the studio. Like the work,
Yeah.
once you're out there, and if you're thinking about your technique or your some, it's that's already a
Hmm.
sign that you're not thinking about the right thing.
Right.
You work hard at rehearsal. I mean, you practice hard so that you could educate your body to do the thinking when it's time to perform, so that your brain and your mind and your spirit could just enjoy performing, enjoy connecting,
Yes,
enjoy seeing
exactly.
your partners, seeing the audience. I think you do that. I think, like I said, I think one of the reasons why I enjoy watching you perform is because you do that. Your eyes are not glued to the ground. I could see, or maybe again, maybe you do a good job hiding it, but I don't see a lot of thinking or counting. I see a lot of you're present enough to make eye contact. You're
Yeah,
present enough, and that's so powerful. Again, whether you're an adjudicator,
yeah,
again, you don't want to be staring at them, but to be able to graze the eyes and be present enough to connect for that 1 second, that
yeah,
is more valuable than any pointed toe or any proper hand action that you could possibly do. And that's
yeah,
again, one of my teachers said that. It's like if you catch a judge looking down at your feet, you're already losing him.
That's a good point. I one of the one my instructor, Manu, he goes, before we go out, a lot of times he'll go, okay, let's perform. Okay, let's do this. And so that's just kind of to get you out of your head of the technique so much, even though you need the technique and we've practiced the technique, now it's time to perform.
Well, here's the thing about technique as well. It occupies so much of your training, and
Hmm.
quite a bit, quite a lot of, a lot of times, and then whether it's dance or writing or any sort of form of, you're trying to master, there are mechanics, there are rules.
Yeah.
But again, to quote one of my teachers, like the technique is not there to get in your way of performance. The technique is there to empower your creativity and ability to perform.
But yeah.
The guy who's like kind of credited as one of our founding fathers of the technique book, at least, his name is Walter
Hmm.
Laird. This really old, well, he's no longer with us, but during his heyday, I mean, he was not aesthetically pleasing to the eye. You would not look at him and think that he is, Baryshnikov. You're like, okay, well, I could see how he's one of the best ballerinas ever.
Hmm.
This guy was not one of those. He was an older, bigger, not necessarily like, again, didn't exude all of this charisma that you would expect from someone who founded, modern day ballroom dance technique. But he was, and one of the things he used to preach is that, I didn't write this book for people that know how to dance. I wrote it for people that don't know how to dance.
Mm.
And I think that's one thing for you to also remember is you have a lot of natural movement that you shouldn't ignore. And it's not a chicken or the egg. You don't necessarily, you can be a visual learner. You can kind of mimic and kind of convey something to your body and then figure out what is it that you're actually doing and what are the
Yeah,
parameters for that movement.
that makes sense.
Some people don't have that. Like samba is a perfect example, right? If you understand the pocket and how to
Hmm.
create bounce in that pocket,
Hmm.
you don't need a whole thesis on a pelvic tilt and a bending of the knee and a straightening of the thing and it's the folks that
So
unfortunately
true.
don't understand how to create that
Hmm.
movement. Those
I
are the
see.
people that you have technique to build and to create with. And I think those are also are huge accomplishments for our studios is to see people that could barely walk go out there and become
Yeah.
dancers.
Yes.
And
Because
not
we
to
hear
take
that.
anything away from you. Yeah, I don't want to take anything away from you. But God gave you a lot of tools that some folks don't get. And again, I applaud the fact that you didn't just rely on that you still bought in. Because again, the difference between ignorance and creativity is learning the rules and
Yeah.
then breaking them, not
Yeah.
learning, not learning them at all. So I appreciate that even though you have natural ability, you're still embracing that technique and
Hmm.
amplifying the natural ability that you do have.
Yeah. That's good. Thank you for that. And it's true. It's like as long as we can, I've heard people say, I don't know, I can't dance, but we can all learn. We can
Yeah.
all learn. I mean, if you have to learn, if you're a visual learner, fine. If you have to learn step by step and account, it's there. You can learn as long as
Again,
you
and
can
I'm
move.
giving you, as long as you can move, as long as you're willing to learn,
Hmm.
I think again, it's like Dance With Me exists for people that don't know how to dance
Hmm.
and that want to learn. But it is incredibly intimidating, especially for someone that doesn't grow up with the bop, doesn't grow up listening to music,
Yeah.
doesn't have that spirit inside of them. What would you say to someone that is like, is I don't want to use the word envious, but is curious to learn, but is so hesitant and is so um, reluctant to try.
Yeah, I would say just try it. I mean, even if you have to learn, like you said, listening to the words, because I've seen people dance to the words. It's up to you, and you just have to be willing to get out there, try something new, do something different, challenge yourself. A lot of times, it's like when they're little ones, and I know you have a little one, they fall, they get back up. When we get older, we don't do that anymore. If you fail at something, you just, oh, I can't do that anymore. But instead of trying it again, maybe the next time will be the best time. And so we just have to remember just to keep moving as a person. As long as you have ability, you have to keep trying new things. You can't get stuck. I mean, a lot of people do get stuck and then they're not growing anymore. Or I've been there, done that. I don't need to do it again. Why not? Try it. Try something different. And so for me, that was the thing, to try something different, even though I always liked to dance, just regular dance. But this was something different. And you kind of start to love it because it's something new. It's something that you can, it keeps your mind going, keeps your body going. It's just, it's really a good thing.
Yeah, I wanted to piggyback off of that, like reflecting on now 6 years of your dance journey. What would you say is like the things that you're most proud of, the things that have you know that you've seen change, obviously besides the 60 pounds that you mentioned. Like just physically, mentally, spiritually, have you seen a difference?
Yeah, I think just because it gives you more the confidence that maybe you start to lose as you get older because your body's changing, things are changing around you. The 6 years has been an experience that I never would have thought I would be in Spain dancing. It's been a rewarding experience in that area as well because, just going different places, meeting new people in all walks of life that I never would have met before. And so sometimes, like I say, people get stuck in a rut of, oh, I'm just going to have these friends and that's it.
Hmm.
And I've met a whole dance family of friends that I never would have known 6 years ago. And so that has been outside of the dancing part of it, it's the experience of getting to know more people, traveling to different parts of the world, and just making things new. That's what I like about it. It's like I said for 2025, I mean, hopefully this will air in this year. I said we have to thrive. We have to thrive and look for new things, make things bigger and better in our lives. And that's it.
How much has the community that you built at Dance With Me play a role in you continuing to do this?
Yeah. It's just I think you just have these friendships that you develop and you'd be like, okay, you want to show up. Let me put it that way. You want to show up for the family, and just having you as a mentor and coach and Max and all the other professionals that come and they just pour into your life. It's amazing. And so that's what I enjoy about it. It's just a family experience.
Is there is there a moment that you can remember that stands out to you, whether at a showcase or a dance competition that you could share with us? Could be a funny moment. It could be whatever you want to share.
Okay, this past competition, there's a song called We Fall Down, But We Get Up.
Yeah.
I actually fell on the dance floor. I'm like, oh no. And so I got right back up and kept dancing. And so it's funny because someone had took the video and she sent it to me and I showed it to my granddaughter and she said, okay, so you fell, but did you win? I was like, yes. She was like, okay, and ran off. I was like, see, that's the attitude we have to have. And so I feel like that was a funny moment, but also the first time, and it was an experience. But from what I've learned, a lot of people fall, but they get up and keep going. So that
One of
was
my
that was a
favorite,
funny. Go ahead.
it's yeah, I mean, first of all, time stops in those moments. It feels like it's forever, right? It feels like it's
Yeah,
forever. Everybody's watching you. Then when you look back at it, it was like, oh, that was so
it was
fast.
so
I
quick.
got right
Yeah.
back up and but my favorite moments, and I don't know if you've noticed it watching others compete, especially the pros.
Hmm.
There's so much velocity on the floor that they're creating, whether it's in ballroom or in Latin. Seeing them bump into each other
Oh yeah.
happens what happens in that moment. Because what happens is, we train our routines, we get ready, and it's like we have our routine prepped and we do it and we try to do it excellently. A lot of times we lose that spontaneity and that
Mm,
like just freedom in that moment. And so what happens when we do bump into each other, it creates a real authentic moment of spontaneity. And that's what I love the most is sometimes people switch partners, some people
I've seen
adjust
that.
their
Yes.
choreography. They
Yeah.
adjust their choreography, they ad lib some stuff. And for me, those are the most exciting parts because again, it's not on script, but it's exciting to see how people get out of those moments.
Yeah.
So you're not the first to fall. I've
I
fallen.
know.
Man, we were teaching a class in April. We were teaching at JoJo's studio. She had like a benefit, some sort of fundraiser. We are teaching this class, and me and Jen at the end of class, we usually try to do like a little performance, a little
Oh,
demonstration
yeah.
of the routine, and all the kids lined up. And now they have the video everywhere. And so I'm like, all right, so I'm putting on a show, I'm performing, I'm like peacocking. And I start, and again, usually I try to ad lib the movement a little bit to kind of make it more dynamic, not just like,
Hmm.
okay, here we learned this and now we do it. And I'm just feeling myself so hard. And, we have these patent leather shoes, and if you
Oh,
don't
yeah.
grease them up a little bit, they get stuck.
They
And
stick.
so yeah, I don't know if you've ever seen a video of the fainting goats. When you scare like a
Yeah.
baby goat, they like
And they
they like
fall over.
freeze up and tilt over. That was literally me in front of all of these kids. Again, I just spent an hour and a half preaching, being this authority, this
Yeah.
big name for them, and I'm performing. It was good for my ego. Let's just say it was an ego cleanse, I call it, because sometimes you take things a little bit too seriously.
Hmm.
Just I felt so flat. It was impossible to play off. I mean, I played it off obviously a little bit. I came up, but it just made such a thumping sound.
Yeah.
And what can you do? I just
Yeah.
laughed at myself. I looked to the side, everybody's laughing. And
Yeah.
you have a moment. You have a moment to either, die inside
Yeah.
or to laugh at
Keep
yourself
going.
and keep it moving. Yeah.
That's right.
I am very grateful that my ego is not inflated to such a degree that I was able to laugh at myself. But it's a great, like I said, it's a great ego reset because just like this conversation,
Yeah.
sometimes we get caught up in who we're supposed to be,
Yeah.
and you almost get like you box yourself in by your own judgment, by your own
Hmm.
standards, by your own thing, and you never move. And
Yeah.
it's on the same theme of just like shake it off, get out and try something new.
It's so true. That is so true. I mean, that's how I felt about it. I was like, I didn't even want the video. I was like, I've erased it from my mind, but it was
We'll
good.
find
It
the
was good.
video. We'll find the video. We'll add it to the B-roll of
Like,
this conversation.
yeah, yeah. I'm sure. And the thing about it was, Nikita was right there. I was like, he tried to help me up. It's like, I'm good.
Speaking of competitions,
Hmm.
what is all the what's your favorite part about it? And talk about getting ready for one. Like what does the day look like? Getting your hair done, your makeup, your dress.
Yes, the whole part of it is for me, it's sort of like what you said. For me, it starts out with prayer, help me to remember the steps, to keep my legs moving and all those things. And then, yes, preparing with hair, with makeup, the outfits, it's not something that you normally wear. So it's that whole process is beforehand, but you hope that you have the right thing and that there's no wardrobe malfunction. But mainly it's just once you get it on, get the costume on and just pray and go for it.
But
That's
you
it.
also transform. That's what I found, right? Because sometimes I'm just a random Tuesday. I
Hmm.
look in the mirror and I'm like, how is
Totally.
this thing going to be in front of millions of people? Like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
But then you put you do your hair, you get your
Yeah.
gear, you put your thing, and you become the part. you know,
Yeah,
and a lot of times it's like those are the elements that mentally and physically get you prepared. And when you have all those things, it almost becomes like routine. So it's not just the vanity of looking hot, but
mm-mm.
also it's the process of mentally getting yourself ready to get out there and be
Exactly.
in front of people.
It's sort of like when I tell people, okay, like to do a showcase, I'm more of a, I'm like shy about doing that. And they go, really? No, no way. But it's a whole different person that you become. It's sort of like, I always think about like Beyonce. She's
Hmm.
like this quiet person, and then when she goes on stage, she's Sasha Fierce because
Hmm.
you like mentally become almost this other person. And I think in acting, they call that the muse.
Hmm.
You become something different, or maybe it's a alter ego that you have that comes out in the performance part of it. So it's
Would you
cool.
say, is that kind of like you? Do you have a name, your stage name?
I don't really have a name. I don't know what, you know, maybe it's Kimmy because that's what they call me when I'm competing. So I don't know. It's crazy.
Kimmy. Kimmy, and I definitely want Ilya to all of your looks, but you're one of the fashionistas of the Dance With Me competitions.
Mm.
And I'm always looking forward to seeing your latest trend. As a matter of fact, was it last year that I
hmm
texted
When
you to send me one of your outfits?
you won,
Because
yeah,
with Sochi, yeah, for my finale with Sochi last year, I was trying to design a look and I just remembered you having this kind of
connect.
beaded top. And I just remembered when I saw you in it, I thought it was so dynamic and so beautiful. And I referenced that picture to our wardrobe department and built that dress and that look around, inspired by you, by Kimmy.
And it's funny because I don't. It's hard for me to find things off the rack. So a lot of them I do myself. I have to do the beading and all that stuff because I usually can't find anything I really like unless I kind of make it. So yeah. So thank you. I was honored to get that message and to know that you like what I wear. It's kind of like between, I don't know. I've always been that way. If I was going to a dance or a prom or something, I would have to do something. I can't find it. I have to make it.
Can
So,
I ask you what you got your master's in?
business, business
Business,
administration. Yeah. So
business
MBA.
administration.
Yeah.
But you have this artistry inside of you.
I know. It's totally. Yeah. When it comes to creating things like, yeah, I'm more artistic.
Why didn't you pursue the arts? If you don't mind me asking.
It's the whole thing. Okay, you can't make money in that, so you follow what your parents said. Yeah, yeah. But you have to follow what you like. And that was something that I was like, okay, I'll just go get my master's degree. Do I use it? No. It's funny. It was just an accomplishment.
It's a huge accomplishment. You should be very proud. Would you say
Yeah.
that your kind of your dance journey now is not making up for lost times, but it's now finally allowing you to be the artist that you always
hmm
felt like?
Yeah, exactly. It's so true. And funny to piggyback on my daughter being an actress, she thought because of the education system and all that stuff, I was like, no, just go and pursue the dream. It's that's what you wanted to do. She got an agent right away, a manager right away. Sometimes you just have to follow your dream. Not sometimes, all the time. You have to follow your dream. And so I was able to, I think, allow her to experience that because why waste time? Just go.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What's your favorite style? Do you have a particular style that you gravitate to or you love more than the other?
In dance,
In dance, yeah. Smooth, standard, Latin, social.
Val, I need therapy for smooth. Just, yeah, that one. Anyway, so my favorite style is Latin.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's my favorite. And when it comes to like rhythm, my favorite dance and rhythm is mambo. It's so
Hmm.
those types of things, I guess. But I'm trying to learn the smooth and learn to love it more. I think that's what I'm going to be working on today.
It
But
looks
yeah,
great on you. It looks great
really,
on you. Yeah.
I
Don't
think.
approach it so, I think there's a little bit of an intimidation about the posture and the elegance of that, but you already have elegance. And instead of I think overthinking the posture,
Hmm.
just just be the feminine queen that you are, because a lot of it is sassy, right? The
Yeah,
foxtrot and the smooth is all about sass. It's all about
yeah,
charisma and performance, which I think you have a lot of. Lean into the thing that you already have, and
yeah,
then develop the things that you don't. Which again, I'm sure in the smooth you still have a long way to go,
yeah,
technically.
yeah,
But don't abandon all the nuggets that you already have. Even the
yeah.
things that you show in the rhythm and in the Latin. You could bring a lot of that into the smooth.
I'm trying. I'm working on it. I'm gonna work on that for real. Like, because I don't want to give it up because that's the thought. It's like maybe I just stick with one thing or you know. But so far, the only thing I don't do is standard, and I
Hmm.
haven't I haven't tried it yet. So we'll see.
What's keeping you motivated to continue to dance? Is there anything that just keeps you coming back?
Yeah, I think it's just the love of it and just knowing that I can continue to learn. I mean, it's not you don't just get it and that's it. It's the challenge of it, I think. That's what keeps me going with it. It's like I can learn something new every time, or I can get better at it than what I've been. And I saw someone did a whole timeline. This guy, you might have seen it. He started dancing in 2019 and doing hip hop and did a whole journey. And now he's dancing for, is it the Clippers or somebody? But
Hmm.
the whole point is that you continue to grow and you continue to learn and it's keeping you moving. There are some people that when the videos are posted, they go, Kim, keep posting those videos. I'm learning through you. I'm living vicariously through you. So I guess it's just being a person that's helping other people be excited about life. So that's one thing too.
I
And
think
my
you.
daughters love it. They're like, go for it. They want
Well,
to
that's the
watch it.
thing. You're setting an example not just for your daughters, but I think you have a much further reach with your
Hmm.
own journey than you think. It's like I said, you there was a direct impact even on my Dancing with the Stars career that you had just by doing your thing, just by picking out a dress that you were inspired by. So
Yeah,
definitely don't stop. You never know, right? You never know how you can be of impact or of service to others. And
that's
that's
so
one of the
true.
things I appreciate about my opportunity with dance. My relationship with dance has evolved through time. It
Yeah.
started with I'm trying to, be the best ever and win trophies and blah blah blah. And now I'm still ambitious. I still, like I said, I'm still competitive.
Oh, yeah.
But what makes it even more worth it is now I'm using my skill, to be of service to others,
Hmm.
and empower others directly through being their partner on the show, through teaching,
Yeah.
through supporting this awesome dance company, Dance With Me,
Hmm.
and also through performance and having people, whether it's just getting them to escape their reality and just through my performance feel something, that to
Yeah.
me is what the value of all these years spent doing this is.
Yeah. It's awesome. You guys definitely inspired me to start just from watching. And we need you and Jenna to come back and perform for us sometime.
We will. We will. Jen is hard to get to now, but I'll be in Houston. I'm gonna try to get her out there as well, but I'll definitely be in Houston. And
Awesome.
maybe my brother and I will do a little performance.
Yes.
But we'll do another
I'm glad to.
TikTok for sure. For sure.
Yeah, you do a lot of them, and some of them are very hard. I'm like, wow, you
Well, we
learn them
only got
pretty
like
quick.
2 more days of TikTok and then it gets banned
Oh,
anyway,
that's
so
true. I forgot about that.
So
Oh God.
we'll shift back to Instagram.
Mm,
I wanted to, first of all, thank you. And I wanted to wrap it up with my final question. How would you
okay.
describe the impact that Dance With Me has had on your life?
Wow. It has had a profound impact just in me getting healthier, in being able to have more confidence in myself and what I can do and my abilities. I think just being, like I said, having others look at it and say, hey, keep going, do your thing. This is awesome. And just the joy of it, I think it's brought a lot of joy into my life. I think that's the big thing.
Awesome. And
Yeah.
you're a reflection of that joy because you reflect it onto others. We love watching you. I
Oh,
love showing up to competitions and seeing you. I love coming to the studio and seeing you. And I want to thank you so much for spending all this time talking to me.
thank
I
you.
love you, Kim.
I love you too. Thank you so much.